Ah. Hello, dear friends. Today we will be reading people's secrets. Very juicy. This book is a wonderful book, actually. It's from a project called Postsecret. And I'll just read the blurb for you. You're invited to anonymously contribute a secret to a group art project. Your secret can be a regret, fear, betrayal, desire, confession, or childhood humiliation. Reveal anything, as long as it is true, and you have never shared it with anyone before. So it was sent out to people the world over, I think, but I think mostly Americans responded. And what everybody returned was in the form of postcards or images. They could respond however they wanted, but everybody responded with their own illustrations and their own secrets put into these kind of lovely artistic images. So we kind of see the secrets of anonymous people. I trashed my parents' house to look like I had a party while they were out of town, so my mum would think I had friends. Oh dear. So some deep confessions from individuals that have never revealed anything like this to anybody before, but in a very impactful, artistic way. So without much further ado, let's just jump past the introduction and get straight into it. This is what people were asked to do. A little postcard where I think the other side of it was blank. So you're invited to anonymously contribute a secret to a group art project. And then you take a postcard or two. Be brief, use fewer words, be legible, be clear and bold lettering, and be creative. Let the postcard be your canvas. So this was back in November 2004. He printed off the artist Frank Warren. Printed 3,000 postcards inviting people to share a secret with him. So let's have a look. I have so many secrets. I don't know which one to send in. Intriguing. That they used an image of, I don't know, it looks like professionals. It looks almost like a spy situation there, doesn't it? As to this individual and their secrets. I wonder what they are. They haven't shared us. My secret is I want to be an outlaw biker. I mean, who doesn't, eh? I'm guessing this is an image of their workspace. Or maybe an old one. If this was in 2004, I'd be very surprised if this was somebody's workspace. But then again, 2004 is now, nearly 20 years ago. It's one of those years which you think was only yesterday, but you realise in horror how long ago it was. I can't think of a secret, except I don't think I'm interesting enough to have a secret. That's sad, but I'm sure somebody felt catharsis in being able to send off something that just said that, I suppose, to tell the world that you don't think you have secrets, but hey, I want to be heard. I want to be in love, but I'm afraid it won't solve all my problems like I want it to. I think a lot of people do look at having a relationship and being, inverted commas, in love as being the key to solving a lot of situations, but sometimes you've got to love yourself before you can love anybody else. I think it's, to paraphrase RuPaul, I don't care about recycling, but I pretend to. I pretend I do. I love the image as well of somebody dancing like that. So carefree. I don't care about recycling. I just pretend I do to keep up appearances. I found these stamps as a child, and I've been waiting all my life to have someone to send them to. I never did have someone. This is actually, I wasn't expecting this to be so sad so soon. People have things that they want to share and give to others, and then this project gave them an outlet to do so. I know you don't really like me. Please stop pretending. Ooh, like rings. That is a brutal confession. A secret. Does she ever question why he's not wearing the ring? I assume this is a man's hand by the shape of it. How's he got away with that? Sometimes I wish that I was blind, just so I wouldn't have to look at myself every day in the mirror. These are painful. I'm sorry if I led you on to believe that this little journey through people's secrets would be one of juicy gossip and fun. I mean, I'm sure we will see that later on, but some of these are very painful secrets. There are over 7 billion people on this planet. To get cold and calculated about it, it is mathematically impossible that there are not people out there who will see you for the joyous, fantastic human being that you are. And they will be more than happy to help you understand that when you find them. It's very hard to reach out to people when you don't feel good about yourself. So surround yourself with people who don't worry about themselves and focus on others, because I suppose they've addressed the way they feel about themselves already, so don't mind how people see them and are happy to share the truth of what they see in others. I don't know, I'm staring off into the distance and thinking about this secret and how sad it is. I felt that way myself in the past, but then it does get better. You do find somebody who loves you by just being in the present and in the moment. They will find you and you'll find them. Very difficult. Oh my word, I envy the willpower of anorexics. Okay, I suppose we should put a disclaimer on that, which is, of course, anorexia is a serious condition. And individuals who are experiencing anorexia don't necessarily have willpower. They're under, they've got an eating disorder that they need psychiatric support and medical assistance to overcome. But this individual has anonymously posted a secret that they believe that anorexics have willpower and they wish to harness that to get slimmer. Again, it sounds like somebody's in a very desperate position there. Oh, here we go, this is nice. Sometimes I put coins in other people's parking meters. Oh, well done you. A little random act of kindness can go a long way. Some people will talk about that for years to come. When I was in the 4th grade, a new kid moved into our neighbourhood. He was a charismatic leader who quickly became popular. Soon after, he convinced 2 of my friends to pin me to the ground and hold open my eyelids. They took turns spitting into my eyes. Kids can be very, very cruel. This is my fear for my children when they eventually go into school, that there will be individuals who take advantage or bully in such horrible ways, and this individual has kept it secret for so long and felt the need to share it in a project like this. And the 2 red dots, like the eyes being violated, I really hope they haven't allowed that experience to define who they are. He's been in prison for 2 years because of what I did. 9 more to go. Oh, difficult. I wonder why that person's taken the fall for them. It's a bit like The Affair in its first couple of series when it was enjoyable. I know he doesn't love me anymore. That must be a painful secret to hold on to, or feel the need to keep it a secret without having a discussion. People think I've stopped lying, but I've just gotten better at it. Oh dear. Yes, I suppose, effective lying is a skill that if you wish to continue lying, you just develop and refine how you lie based on the way in which people catch you out. So for next time, you approach it in a different way. I am homeless, and no one, not even my family, knows about it. Oh, I read that as I'm homeless, as in I don't come home that often. But it's not, it's homeless. Oh, I read that wrong. I am homeless and no one, not even my family, knows about it. So that raises an interesting point, doesn't it? If you see individuals who are homeless, it's not sometimes a simple case of, well, do you know somebody? Can you just stay around somebody's house? I'm sure if they had that option available to them, they would take it, but there are often far deeper issues at play, which means why people feel they can't connect with individuals who could help them and support them. We don't know what the relationship is like, of course. It's difficult to speculate, but shows it's a far more complex issue. I smile sweetly and pretend to sympathise with my friends who are always fighting with their mothers. I would give my left arm just to have my mother alive to fight with. Ouch. I suppose again that goes to show that sometimes we may be venting our frustrations and difficulties that we face in our everyday lives, but we don't necessarily take into account the personal experiences of others when we are doing so. I waste office supplies because I hate my boss. Is this person a post-it note aficionado? Puts post-it notes everywhere for no reason. Slaps post-it notes all over your screen. Drops you a message instead of an email. They drop a post-it note. Throws away pens after they've used it once. I'm sure we've all worked with people in the past who feel that way. Maybe it's because they hate where they work. They're not just wasteful. I save all the staples I pull out at work. They're in a box in my desk. It weighs over 1.5 pounds. This individual is secretly hoarding discarded staples. I wonder why. I used to fertilise a ring in our lawn every time I mowed it. It grew. My parents still think it was aliens. That's a fun secret. A little harmless prank to play on your folks. Every morning I go to work hoping she'll say, I quit. I'm guessing this is somebody that this individual works with and does not want to work with. Unfortunately, I know of many people who have that experience of just wanting somebody to retire or quit because they don't wish to work with them anymore. It's a shame that you may go into work before you even started having that feeling about somebody that kind of gives you a sense of dread and worry. I am a successful, college-educated, 50-year-old businesswoman. I still need to count with my fingers to add. I'm sure we've all got examples of that. I think I do the same when, sometimes when I have to think of months, I quickly run through all the months of the year in my head to get to the month that I'm being asked about. Or, doing a quick times table in my head before I get to a number, and then figuring it out on my fingers, so I am the same as you, 50-year-old anonymous businesswoman. There is a Skittle on the bathroom floor at my job. Every time I go pee, I am tempted to eat it. There is also a chocolate kiss under my desk. It's been there since I started. 1.5 years ago. I still might eat it. Well, I suppose we have the apple of Eden, and we have the bathroom Skittle. Both examples of temptation. Everyone thinks I do it to make people stare, but really it's to keep them from looking too closely. It doesn't stop me from wondering what they do see. It's interesting. So I assume this is them. They've taken a picture of this unique piercing, the top of the bridge of their nose. But that's an interesting concept, isn't it? Doing things that people think you're doing to be stared at or looked at, but actually you're doing it because you don't want people to look at you too closely. You just want people to focus on something that you're presenting to them. Interesting. I don't like it when my husband looks into my eyes when we have sex. He might see my secret. Interesting. That's a very intimate secret to share, and I wonder what secret they're referring to. My father died when I was 12. I couldn't cry. It's interesting, isn't it? Again, some people may think that they are supposed to have certain emotional responses to certain things and feel under pressure if they don't respond in a way that is, to a degree, expected of them. I've suffered bereavement where I didn't cry in the moment, and I suppose it's the shock, and then something else needs to happen for you to actually let go emotionally. Yes, I don't think anyone should put themselves under the pressure of responding in a way that they think others should think them. They should respond to you. You are you. I want to be kidnapped, stripped naked, then bound in clear wrap to a signpost in the middle of downtown, and no one can set me free. I wonder why. There's a lot to unpack there. Thinking about being with him is more exciting than actually being with him. I mean, I can share that sentiment from childhood romances. I'm sure a lot can. Back in your school days, you'd obsess over somebody, a crush, so much. But actually, when you were with them, you held hands and barely spoke to each other. And actually, objectively, it's incredibly boring. But then you go away and you just paint this beautiful picture of them again and rebuild it all back up. This is more like a secret I would have. I ate all the blueberries and they were delicious. Shout out to all the secret eaters out there, all the food feeds. There was no deer, I was just driving too fast. Oh dear, somebody obviously had an accident and tried to blame it on wildlife. I can't tell my mum about the rape, she wouldn't want to know and it kills me. That is painful, that is very painful. Yes, that's too painful or complex of a topic for me to really comment on. I'll become a cop so I could try to stop myself. I became a cop so I could try to stop myself. It's not working. Stop myself doing what? Interesting. Wrong motivations for getting into law enforcement. I'm happy and lucky, but I've never told anyone. I wonder if that's because they're ignoring the fact that they're happy and lucky, because they think they're supposed to feel a certain way, or they don't want other people to think they're happy and lucky so that they feel inferior by design. I also massively appreciate this individual's calligraphy. I love that writing. 3 years ago I tried to kill myself. Now I'm 18 plus. People say I'm happy, but I still want to die. Oh dear. It's a painful secret and a burden to carry, particularly when you feel that you can't share this with anybody because they think you're happy. And then it adds to the anxiety and guilt that if you were to correct people or change their thinking about you, for some reason you'd be being a burden a burden on them all. They're so complex. Without going into too much detail, do completely resonate and understand this point of view. And I can only speak from experience that it feels one of the most difficult things to do, but to actually begin talking about what you feel, how you feel, or even what you feel like doing is such a key step to working towards making yourself better. All I can do is speak from a place of trust me, that the minute you open your mouth, you open the well, the dam, and that tension can begin to be released. For some it might be just writing these things down like this is the start to seeking additional support, and then for some it could be talking. I believe I will accomplish something truly this lifetime. I'm going to be 53 tomorrow. Good on you. There is no such thing as old age. Just additional experience. Keep going. I'm terrified of not existing. Me too. I've always been deathly afraid of not being remembered. Or just leaving this planet without leaving any kind of mark on it whatsoever. I am so grateful to the psychiatrist I saw when I was 19 who told me I would be fine again. He saved my life. Well, there we go. Absolutely, there are people out there who can help you, and they will help you. I feel blank inside. Yes, that's hard when you feel nothing at all. But I appreciate the wonderful artistic way of communicating that message. It really bothers me to admit this. It freaks me out. I am not a bigot. I love people. I am a good person. But I think Hitler was sexy. Wow. I want to burst out laughing, but it's not really appropriate for the context of this video, but that's a plot twist. When I was a young teenager, I used to babysit my next door neighbour's son. When he was asleep, I would go into their bedroom and go through their bedside drawers. I found a packet of condoms. I put a pin through the middle of each of them, and thus ensured myself another 5 years of babysitting. Oh my. Now that is a terrible secret. A terrible, terrible secret. Not thinking of the long-term consequences for others there. When I'm mad at my husband, I put boogers in his soup. Tales from the kitchen. I'm really scared of losing all of my weight because then I will be forced to face my fear of men and have nowhere to hide. I mean, this book is fascinating for understanding the motivations and reasons behind why people may do things that you don't understand, and it begins you off on the journey of really finding empathy for others. I don't know if it will last, but for now he makes me feel like I can do anything I ever dreamed. That's sweet. I will never stop loving her. Don't make that a secret, my friend. Tell her every day. I fear that I'm going to be alone for the rest of my life, and I don't want to have to settle in order not to be. I mean, this person's obviously putting forward the consideration that just because they're with someone might not make them feel any less alone. A painful stance. When I get angry, I put bad words on my toaster strudel. I mean, we can see what that says. I won't say it out loud. But I suppose that's quite an inventive way. Some people might go to the gym, use a punch bag, play some video games. This individual writes expletives on toaster strudels. Well done. I have finally spoken my secret out loud into this envelope and sealed it forever. If there's a secret that's burdening you or weighing you down, I think that's a great idea. Just put it into something, get it away from you. Sometimes I want to run away from home. I'm 38, married with a child. This person looks like they want to elope to Canada. It's difficult. It is difficult. The pressures of every day, having to provide and care for individuals who love you and you love them. It's not ever a question about love. I think it's just that pressure can be overwhelming, particularly in this current day and age where prices go up and demands are made of you. It's hard. I hate basketball. Maybe this individual is made to play basketball and they hate it. My dad used to beat me and call it spanking. Oh no. I mean, it's a very complex issue that kind of politicizes people. My personal opinion, and it is my personal opinion, is that educating children with forms of violence in order to find compliance, simply put, the long-term objective of that is demonstrated to them that violence is needed to enforce compliance, and doesn't set them up very well for working with others and living with others in a harmonious way. Words and feeling and making people understand how you feel emotionally, even if young children can't understand it initially, setting them up to be able to discuss through their problems and challenges and what they've done wrong in a verbal, constructive way, I think is infinitely more effective at setting them up for a successful life. But then again, that is literally just a personal opinion. Please don't persecute me for displaying it in a video. I didn't realise this video was going to become so political, but I guess this is a video about people's secrets, so of course it was. For years I hurt myself so that he'd notice me. Oh dear. And then on the back I steal things from my friends to keep memories of how much I love them. This person loves and wants to be loved, and it seems struggles for an outlet to demonstrate that positively or constructively. Finding God is proving difficult. Maybe this individual feels pressure to find God. We had X-rated conversations on the streets of a foreign country because no one could understand us. They had that in Salamanca. Well, there's a lot of hubris in that statement. Nobody could understand us. Well, you're taking a lot for granted there. I'm afraid of naked women. Fair enough. I hope you overcome that fear. If you need to. When I was 7, I hid under my parents' bed so I could see what my dad's penis looked like after his morning shower. The curiosity of children. I suppose that's an important insight into why it's important to educate and not make things secret, because they're going to seek that knowledge anyway, so you can control how they find that knowledge if you educate them in a particular way. I once put hair in my pasta at a restaurant when I decided I wanted fries instead. Naughty you. You've got to take accountability for your decisions. Don't make others feel bad. I take extreme measures to poop in solitude. I mean, it is, pooping in solitude is a very important activity. I'm fully behind that. My sanctuary of poop. I require it. When most people talk to me, I'm thinking, what an idiot. Well, I know many people who feel that way, and I must admit sometimes on occasions I feel that too. I only really feel that when somebody clearly takes the position that they feel like they are higher in status to you, and they have the authority to give you advice or direction without really sense checking if you have that information or knowledge to begin with. I suppose that's what mansplaining falls into, isn't it? That here's what you need to do because I know it. I'm the authority on it. This is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. While you nod your head and think, yes, I do know how to do that. Thank you. I mean, why are you doing this? I stay in a job I hate because I know I won't pass a drug screen anywhere else. And I do drugs because I hate my job. This person's obviously trapped in a bit of a vicious cycle. My dad died when I was 9, and I convinced myself he faked his own death for some reason, undercover agent, chased by a mob, etc., and that he'd come back someday. When I was 12, I found out from my psychiatrist that it is a pretty stupid idea. I'm 25 now. I still wonder when it will be safe for him to come out of hiding and find me. That's very sad, that somebody has altered their reality out of pain and grief of loss. the student $50 to write my valedictorian speech, and it was way better than mine could ever have been. That's interesting. I personally wouldn't put that down to somebody's academic qualifications. I think sometimes it is just far easier to write for other people than it is for yourself, because you're not hung up on your own insecurities, anxieties, how people are going to feel. I think that's just the context of that situation there means that individual just wrote something effective. I want to be a doctor, but I don't think I'll make it to med school. Yes, you can, and I hope you did. I got a parking citation, and so did the car next to me. I replaced the ticket on the car next to me with mine. My ticket got paid, and the one I took, I mailed it to Postsecret. Oh. Why did they do that? I don't know if I'm faking it, all of it. Well, if you fake something, it sometimes can be difficult to understand the lines where the faking stops and the reality begins. It's hard. Sometimes after dark, my friends and I strip down to our bras and panties and run around our local park, swing on the swings, and feel free. Afterwards I sketch it. We call it liberation. I mean, that is liberation. I love it. Yes. Down with conformity. Make yourself free. Frolic in the wind. I tell people that I don't believe in God, when really I just refuse to worship a God that would let my grandfather hurt me like he did. That is always a complex discussion in terms of faith and religion, why an omnipotent power would allow things to happen or not to happen. I wished on a dandelion for my husband to die. Ooh, now that is a secret. I wonder why. What must make somebody get to that position? I am a peaceful person who happens to be filled with violent rage. Interesting. So are you saying you're only peaceful on the outside, and it doesn't take a lot to untap? I feel lighter. I'm guessing they feel lighter for having shared their secret, which is a good thing. There are thousands of these secrets. Maybe we'll just get up to this point here. Sometimes just the act of sharing a painful secret can relieve some of the pain. Absolutely, I agree. Just getting things out loud. I think that's a good point to conclude this part of our journey through individual secrets, and we'll save another part for another day. So thank you for joining me on this journey through Postsecret by Frank Warren. It's very juicy to explore people's secrets and understand why they have them or why they wish to share them. And I look forward to having you join me next time for more ASMR secrets.